We are kicking off the masterclass right now. And let me reiterate the topic again. It's building innovative solutions, technologies, and roles shaping our digital age. I'll take it again. Building innovative solutions, technologies, and roles shaping our digital age. And the moderator for that masterclass is none other person than Shehu Mohammed, the Infrastructure and Network Officer of the Nigerian Internet Registration Association, NIRA. Mr. Shehu Mohammed, if you're here, please make your way to the podium. Let's give him a round of applause as he makes his way. Now, the first teacher here in the masterclass is none other person than Mr. Habib Wahab, the Head Technical Services.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, I'm struggling to hear you. Am I alone here? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. The MC said we are supposed to do 3 basic things here. The first is to what? To connect, right? So I want to know how well connected we are. We have a lot of people here, right? So can I just start by asking these questions? How many new people have we been able to meet here? None. Wow. A lot, right? Let's quantify it. 50? 30? 20? 1? So I'll just assume we don't have any new friends, right? Anyway, let's try as much as possible to connect. The reason why it's necessary is anything you need, if it's not within your connection, definitely it will be among somebody you're connected to. Well, let's go to the business of today, and what we are going to be discussing is emerging technologies, right? Okay. But before I proceed, I want to say some brief things about my panelists. So with us on this panel, we have by my left-hand side, Mr. Habib Wahab. Mr. Habib Wahab is the head of technical services at Nigeria Internet Registration Association. Then we have Mr. Joshua by my right-hand side. And Mr. Joshua is the co-founder of PiggyVest, and his expertise is fintech, brand management, and product development. Joining us online is Mr. Moyo Shodipo. Please, Mr. Moyo. Okay, Mr. Moyo Shodipo. Okay. So let's start with words from our panelists. Mr. Moyo Shodipo, could you please start with a little bit of introduction? Over to you, please. Okay, thank you, Mr. Moyo. Mr. Joshua, do you want to say any?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Chibueze, one of the co-founders and CMO of PiggyVest. PiggyVest is one of the leading savings and investment platforms in Nigeria. We're a licensed fund manager. We've been in operations for over 8 years now. We have over 5 million customers.
That's interesting. Mr. Habib Wahab?
My name is Wahab Habib. I'm the head of technical services for NIRA, Nigeria Internet Registration Association. Nigeria Internet Registration is a non-governmental organization given the mandates to manage policies and operation around .ng that we're here for their expos today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Habib. So now that we've met our panelists, let's dive into some general questions to set the context for our discussion today. And I want to start with you, Mr. Joshua. Thank you. So my first question is, AI is already used in various ways, right, in the fintech space. So I understand that it is used in credit scoring and other things. So how do you believe, or what do you believe is the next frontier for AI in the fintech industry?
Okay. I'm going to speak from like a personal experience. I mean, we've been in savings and investments. We've not done anything in credit, but I do know that AI is very much used in credit. But I think for us, we've started to think AI for a very, very long time, actually. And we're very, very close to implementing what that would look like for us. So today on the PiggyVest app, you can save, you can invest. But there's something we're launching very soon for budgeting, right? Something that allows you budget your finances, something that ensures that your salary lasts till the end of the month. So for instance, you put money in a wallet, it divides that money into all the days of the month and gives you, what is allocated for each day. Now, with all of that, we're going to aggregate a lot of data and also going to use AI to predict, customer spending behavior, different things around even helping the customer with credit eventually, because now we understand how they save. We also understand what they're spending money on. So it's easy for us to predict, give them a credit rating and give them credit eventually.
Oh, thank you for that insight. So, Mr. Habib, I want to know from your own perspective of Internet of Things, right? How are emerging technologies transforming solutions in Nigeria to address the problem we have locally? So how are IoT is assisting towards this?
All right, thank you for that, Michelle. IoT today is it's actually the brain behind anything called smart. If you're talking about smart cities, smart economy, you're talking about anything, with that word smart. So IoT is actually the brain behind it. For the purpose of our students that are here, IoT, you all know what IoT stands for, Internet of Things. It's a device. It's an interconnected device that actually work based on majorly on about 4 components. The first component is the hardware itself. When we're talking about hardware, we are talking about the board, the microprocessor unit, and all the RAM, all that stuff that are built into the board. And aside that, the second component is the software that is embedded, integrated into the hardware itself. And then the third one is the connectivity part of it. So there's no IoT without the internet connection. And then the last one of the component is the sensors. So there's no IoT without all these components that I mentioned. So the main idea, the main function of IoT is for the device to be able to capture data around our surroundings. We all know that. So as we are sitting here, we have data flowing around us. It's just that we don't know. We don't have means to capture those data. And I'm happy that I have a colleague here from the PiggyVest, right? So it can relate to what I'm saying, in the sense that if you look at Lagos State, for example, Lagos is a mega city. So we have about 20 million population. People living in Lagos, and at the same time, we have close to 1.6 people using their vehicle on the road on a daily basis.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
and couple with the issue of bad road and poor road infrastructures we have, to manage traffic in Lagos becomes very daunting. So, and the only way for governments to manage that is to install IoT devices around our cities. If you've been in Lagos for like 5 years now, most especially on Terminal Bridge, you'll see some devices that look like cameras. You see some devices, you won't wonder that what kind of device is this? You see some devices, even the traffic light you see, some of them have some sensors embedded in them to capture how busy the road is, what is the vehicle density on the road and stuff like that. So IoT collect all these data and backfeed all this data to another tier of infrastructure that does the analysis of this data and also make action based on that.
Okay,
so
thank you.
this is how IoT has transformed how we live our life.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Habib. And from your response, it's obvious that a massive amount of data will be generated from all these IoT devices. Well, I'm still going to come back to that. Mr. Moyo. Okay, so I want to know from your background of machine learning, how are digital solutions in Nigeria using emerging technologies to address local challenges?
Okay, so I'd say the aspects that I would lean this towards would be blockchain technology. And when I say blockchain technology, I would say the way blockchain is helping to shape emerging technologies is the blockchain is like a distributed ledger where any transaction that you put on the blockchain today, you cannot go there tomorrow to modify it. You can't go there tomorrow to change it. You can't say it was deleted. You can't say it was affected by a buyer or something. Once something has been printed or broadcasted on the blockchain, there's no way that anyone can go back and modify it. So what's blockchain and what's machine learning and blockchain does to help with emerging technologies today is that it helps to ensure that there's full-on transparency. It helps to ensure that we can audit transactions properly. It helps to ensure that there's clarity, there's openness for everyone to see, and that's why you see governments around the world running on the blockchain technology by trying to launch their own digital currencies. In Nigeria, we have the Naira currencies. We're also having central banks trying to launch their digital version of the currency that's going to be on the blockchain. What this will do in the long run is that to ensure that every government parastatal, every transaction that has to do with the government, when we get to where we want the blockchain and this technology to get in the future, well, to ensure that there's full-on transparency, there's proper auditing, and then it will lead to less in the long run leakage to the government, openness, and ensure that everyone is really held accountable.
Thank you, Mr. Moyo, for your insights. From what you just explained to us, I picked 2 words there, and the first thing is security. Okay, and beside being secure, your information seems to be tamper-proof, which means there is no way that anybody will modify your data when you use blockchain technology. So let's dive deeper into more specific questions related to emerging technologies and their application. And I want to start with you, Mr. Habib. So based on your experience, you work at NERA. So I want to ask a question related to .ng. And my question is, how does the .ng domain build trust for businesses in Nigeria?
Thank you for that, Mr. Sheo. I know today we've had different panelists talk about benefits of having .ng, the stress importance of the stress points on identity trust and all that. So I just want to talk about two things that hasn't been mentioned. The first one is as NERA, we are registry, we manage .ng. So one of the key things we do is to make sure that service availability for these .ng is up to par, right? So going by 2 years data, we have our registry running at 99.9%. So only a business owner will understand what it means for a service to run at 99.9. So that gives high level of confidence that if I have a domain through a registrar, if I have a .ng domain through one of the NERA accredited registrar, I know that my domain is going to be available any day, anytime. That guarantees high level of trust.
That's interesting. So, Mr. Joshua, I understand beside being into fintech, you are also into product marketing, right?
Simple.
Okay, so you're marketing fintech. Is that what you mean? All right. So there's intersection between fintech and product marketing in short. And I want to know the strategies that you believe are essential for tech companies to succeed in today's market.
Okay, so just piggybacking off what he said on the .ng domain. I think for us, when we started in 2016, we launched with piggybank.ng. That's how we launched. That was, a very strong boost for what we wanted to achieve. But in terms of marketing in fintech, I'd say it's important to build trust first. Nigeria is generally a low trust environment, which means they don't naturally adopt technical solutions to problems they don't naturally adopt technical solutions. So you have to go the extra mile into explaining whatever it is you're trying to sell. When we started, we came up with at the time, the solution was innovative. There was nothing else in the market that could help you save automatically daily, weekly, or monthly and pay you interest while at it. So it meant that users had to link their debit cards to a website. In fact, when we started, we didn't have an app. We just started with a website. So it meant that users had to link their debit cards to a website. And that website would debit from their bank accounts and give them back their money at the end of, after 3 months. That was very risky. A lot of people frowned, upon it in the beginning. But I think the one thing that we got very right, very early on is how we tell our stories, how we communicate. So from the very beginning, as we started, we were constantly communicating. We're out there. And even at the end of the year, for instance, when for the first year, we had about 700 users and we helped them save 21 million that entire year. I remember we sent an email to our customers telling them this is what we did, and they were very happy. A lot of them started to tell their friends about it, and then continue to grow. So building trust is one thing, and I recommend a lot of storytelling. Very, very important. Also, creating a product that actually works, right? I think we have a thing for, mediocrity generally in Nigeria, but I think you can easily stand out when your product works and also when the service is great. Now, it's one thing for your product to work. We understand that nobody's perfect. There will be issues. When we started, there were lots of issues, right? But when people make a complaint or they want to complain about something, your customer service must be impeccable, extremely important. So in whatever business you run, whatever thing you're trying to do, especially fintech, customer service is extremely important. It was so important that we had to create an entire customer service channel on our social media platforms. So I think we're one of the first that had, if you just sent us a DM on Twitter, you can get your issue resolved without having to send an email or without having to call any number. So we implemented all of those channels just to get closer to our users. And what does
Okay.
getting closer mean? You're building more trust. We're in the trust business, right? So you have to pretty much just be out there, put yourself out there, tell very great stories. And after the first year was 21 million, the next year we grew to about 700 million. The following year about 4.5 billion.
Oh,
Today,
that's interesting.
yeah,
I said that's interesting.
yeah, today, every day, at least 2.5 billion is being saved on Piggyverse today. So at every point in time, we're always telling a story. If you go across Lagos, I'm sure some of you must have seen our ads that says over 1.8 trillion paid, right? That's also storytelling, right? So again, you have to carry your customers along. Make sure you're there when they have an issue so you can respond to them very quickly and promptly. And I think you would have solved majority of your marketing problems once you do that.
Okay, thank you for that. To the students here, hello? Hello? Are you picking anything from the insights we are getting from this discussion? I understand that a lot of you, after leaving school, or perhaps while in school, you have your own business, which you are already doing. So please try as much as possible to pick some tips that can assist you in delivering exceptional services to your clients. Okay, Mr. Moyo, what steps can businesses take to integrate emerging technologies into solutions tailored for Nigerian markets?
Okay, thank you very much. So adding in what Josh has said, he's mentioned customer service. Something that one utilize AI for is using AI for customer service. And how do you do this? You ensure that apart from the humans that you have interacting with people, I'm pretty sure one of the first exchanges to implement a 24/7 like human customer service. But at times that's not just enough. We need to also make it easier for these customer service agents to understand what they're dealing with. And how do you do that? By integrating bots, chatbots into your CS, into your customer service management tool. So when you have this kind of chatbot, what it does for you, it helps you to streamline the issue that the customer is facing. So a customer comes to your live chat today and is experiencing an issue. This bot will help you to narrow down the issue that this customer is experiencing. So that as soon as an agent picks up that conversation, the agent is able to immediately understand what is going on and provide a solution as quickly as possible. This, in turn, will reduce the timeline that it takes from the customer issue occurring to the customer issue resolution. On the other hand, another way that you can make use of this thing is by implementing blockchain solutions into your businesses. So today in Nigeria, a lot of people can potentially have issues receiving payments from maybe customers abroad or receiving payments from customers in different jurisdictions. But if you integrate like a payment solution that Pusha offers where you can receive payments by crypto, what that means is you're building within the Nigerian government but you're building for a global audience. So you're in Nigeria.
Okay. Mr. Moyo, that's okay. Okay. Final words from our panelists. Final words, please.
So again, I was here for the other panel, so I heard them talking about AI a lot. So I think AI has come to stay. It's changing it's changing how productive we can become. I think that's something everyone here should try and focus on. Implement it in your product, implement it in how you offer services, learn as much as you can learn how to input better prompts. I think there's a lot that can be done with AI.
That's okay. Mr. Habib, final words.
Okay, so I'll just continue from where you stopped. AI, IoT, blockchain, they all needs to run on domain. If you want to have this kind of business idea in Nigeria, so I will advise you tie your service to .ng domain. I think that way, so we can continue to build this nation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Habib. Mr. Moyo, final words. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Moyo. It's like we have a question.
Thank you, panelists. Thank you, moderator. The questions will be answered virtually. For every one of us that ask questions, you can keep dropping them and it will be answered virtually because of time.
Okay.
Thank you. Please.
All right, thank you. So thank you, Mr. Joshua, and thank you, Mr. Habib, and
It's my privilege.
our
Thank you.
audience for your participation. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for our moderator and the panelists. Thank you very much for that wonderful information and knowledge that you just shared.